What's up, YouTube? Let's get to it. Alright, man, so today we got MMA fighters and boxers. Mainly MMA fighters calling out boxers. Should they even do that? Now, me personally, I don't think that they should, but I understand sometimes, people do it for, a reward, which is a payday basically.
Payday.
But there are skill set differences. And some people may like the fact that it's it's a sport crossover.
Shut the fuck, shut.
But see, MMA and boxing are distinct sports with different techniques and rules.
I know that.
MMA fighters, they usually have a broader skill set that includes striking, grappling, and submissions, while boxers focus solely on striking with a fist, Now, calling out a boxer for an MMA fight could put the MMA fighter at an advantage, but most of them call out boxers for an actual boxing match, which puts them at a disadvantage.
To this day.
And I get it, sometimes there are financial incentives, I'm talking about, because like a high profile matchup between an MMA fighter and a boxer can generate significant attention and revenue if both fighters are willing to participate. And if the financial incentives make sense for both parties.
My goal was to get some money.
And it could be a lucrative opportunity. I get all that. Then it's a sports crossover. Over the past years, there have been a trend of crossover fights between MMA fighters and boxers, and these fights, like I said before, can generate a lot of interest from both fan bases and draw attention to both sports.
Get the f out of here, man.
And then sometimes, me personally, I think it's just a promotional angle, because sometimes, calling out a boxer could be a strategic move for some of these MMA fighters, and it'll attract attention and gain more visibility for the MMA fighter.
Stop the cap.
And if they believe that it'll generate buzz and it'll prepare the career, they might consider making such a call out, just like Sean O'Malley just did with Tank.
It's all cap. It just talk.
But the MMA fighters should understand something. They should carefully assess the risk and reward of calling out a boxer. They need to consider the chances of winning, potential injury risks, and the impact on the MMA fighter's career if they were to lose. And these decisions should align with the overall career goals. Will the MMA fighter lose if he faces a boxer? Yes.
Go look up the history.
And I know this is only my opinion, but guess what? I haven't been wrong yet.
You a smart man.
Floyd Mayweather beat Conor McGregor. Jake Paul beating all these other MMA fighters. Tyson Fury will beat Francis Ngannou. And if Tank were to fight Sean O'Malley, he would beat Sean O'Malley.
To this day.
Look at it like this. I'm going to use LeBron James and Steph Curry for an example. What does Steph Curry do? When you hear Steph Curry, what do you think of? You think of his shooting abilities, right? You don't think of dunking. You don't think of how he's an overall great player. You think of his shooting ability. Even though he can do the other stuff, he's great when it comes to shooting.
My goal was to get some money.
Then look at LeBron James. When you think of him, you think of him as an overall great player. Now, we can look at LeBron as the MMA fighter, and then we can look at Steph Curry as the boxer.
What?
You a comedian.
Even though LeBron is an all-around great player, and he has shooting ability, would you still say he's a better shooter than Steph Curry?
Absolutely not.
I guarantee you wouldn't say that. And if you do say that, you don't watch basketball.
What the hell is even that?
Steph Curry, I'm associating with the boxer. He's a great shooter. His shooting ability is through the roof. Whereas LeBron James, his ability as an overall player is very high. He's actually considered the GOAT by some people. And then he's considered second right behind the GOAT by other people. So he's up there. Now, even though he's up there and he's a great overall player, does that make him a better shooter than Steph Curry? No, sir, it doesn't. Just like it doesn't make an MMA fighter better than a boxer at striking, or even on par with a boxer at striking.
But there's a sweet science to boxing. The reason why you have not been able to knock out.
They feel like that they are overall better fighters, and they are, because they practice kicking, grappling, ground and pound, submission, all these things, striking.
I know that.
But they have all these things to worry about, whereas the boxer only worry about striking.
I'm Gucci with that. I'm cool with that. Anything under that, I ain't cool.
That's why a boxer is more polished at striking than MMA fighter. Because MMA fighter got these other things to worry about. Even when it comes to defense, they got to learn how to defend takedowns, how to defend themselves when they have been taken down. You know what I'm saying? How to defend submissions, how to defend kicks. Only thing the boxer needs to know is how to defend these punches, these strikes.
I'm Gucci with that. I'm cool with that. Anything under that, I ain't cool.
And that's why I always got boxers winning with the MMA fighters. MMA fighters shouldn't call out boxers. But I get it. Sometimes it's for the paper. It's understandable. But they do need to consider that their chances of losing are very high.